Hi, folks. This is Christian Brindle, Medicare health plan specialist and health insurance specialist in general, located in Utah. Today, I'm going to bring you a video and do a quick little review and explanation of National General under 65 health insurance plans. Now, National General health under 65 health insurance plans are obviously for people that are not on Medicare. They're younger than Medicare. They don't quite qualify for Medicare. And also, National General does offer some Medicare products, such as Medicare supplements and some other things. But on this video specifically, we're going to be talking about their under 65 products, which they specialize primarily in what's known as short-term medical plans. Basically, what short-term medical plans are is they're plans that are designed to last for a certain amount of time. Now, essentially, the way that's going to work is if In the past, short-term medical plans have been designed more so as like a temporary fix, something that will cover you for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, maybe even 6 months. Maybe if you're in between jobs or something like that and you don't have coverage during that time. National General is one of the first companies that's come out with products that can last for up to 2, sometimes 3 years, depending on the market that you're in. And sometimes, if you don't qualify for a subsidy on the marketplace, they can be a nice option for somebody that maybe just doesn't want to pay out those huge marketplace plan premiums. Now, they do have some things about them in the National General plans that are, I would say, big detractors, and that's something that we're going to talk about, but there are a lot of things to like about these plans. So real quickly, I'm going to show you exactly kind of what they look like. Now, they're going to be a little different in every market, so I'll do a couple different states to kind of give you an idea. I'll start in Utah, and I'll use the office address of our office here, the zip code, I should say, 84070. So let's just say I was running one for, somebody that was born on January 1st, 1980. Obviously, the older you are, the more the premium is, like most insurance. It's obviously more if you use tobacco opposed to not using tobacco. We're going to say no in this particular case. And let's say we're looking at an effective date of the 3rd, or let's say of August. I'm recording this on August 1st of 2020. Now, National General has a multiple different products that you can pick from, and in a lot of cases, in a lot of areas, they're going to have more than one different kind of network you can pick. So here in Utah, what they have is they actually let you pick between either an Aetna network or Cigna network. Now, if you live in Utah, you'd know the networks a little bit, but the Aetna network in layman's terms, at least here, is a smaller network, whereas the Cigna network is a larger network of providers, of hospitals and doctors. And people can pick up to 2 12-month terms. They can pick up to a 12-month term. They can pick up to a 6-month term, depending on what they need. In this case, let's look at a 2 12-month term. So as you can see, there's a lot of different plans available. Some plans are kind of really scratching the bottom of the barrel here a little bit. Most of their plans aren't going to come with prescription coverage. There are some that do, and we'll get into that a little bit later, but this plan in particular has a $2,500 deductible and then a $5,000 max out of pocket after the deductible's met. And after the deductible's met, they charge 50% for most things after that is met. Now, depending on which type of plan you're looking at, they're going to have different kind of plans available. Oops, don't think I meant to do that. I'd like this plan brochure more than anything. Okay, so different kinds of plans are going to do different amounts of benefits. Now, these aren't typically like your long-term things. So in most areas, this is kind of what you're going to be looking at. So if you have an essentials plan, which is basically down here, what we're looking at right here is an enhanced plan. But an essentials plan pays up to $250,000 in claims maximum over the coverage period. So if you have a 1-year plan, that's the max they'll pay out over the time period, which isn't probably a whole lot. It sounds like a lot, but it can go through it pretty quickly. Enhanced, which was this plan right here, and these 3 plans will pay out up to $1 million over the coverage period, which is much better. But I always favor the copay enhanced plans. I actually have these plans right now in myself and my family because we don't qualify for subsidies and the marketplace plans are just so expensive. This plan will pay up to $5 million over the coverage period, so that helps a little bit. Then you have, some other things that we'll get into a little bit later. Now, there are some things essentially, that are big detractors from these short-term medical plans. So there are some things that they won't cover that are pretty humongous, and there's a limit here. There's a list here, of limitations and exclusions. Obviously, cosmetic surgeries, not many health insurances that I'm aware of will pay for those. They won't cover anything if you're on Medicare or eligible for Medicare. And basically in layman's terms, some of the bigger things they won't pay for is they won't pay for mental health. They won't pay for gastric bypass surgery. They don't pay for anything with dental, vision, or hearing. They don't pay for artificial hearing devices. They don't pay for smoking cessations. They don't pay for preventative care. They don't cover pre-existing conditions. So if you have any pre-existing conditions prior to this, they won't cover those. So these are mainly designed for healthy people that really need catastrophic coverage. They don't pay for cancer treatment, which is a big one. I usually recommend people pick up a cancer plan to go with these, but you can kind of see these kind of go on. It's important to read through these and know about it when you're looking at one of these plans. They're designed for healthy people in a nutshell, that are really looking for catastrophic coverage to protect you, like if you get in a car accident or something and you need to go to the emergency room, you're going to be protected, but maybe you don't want to pay out those huge premiums on the marketplace if you don't qualify for a subsidy, or maybe you don't have a work insurance plan. As we go down, though, you'll see the different plans they have available, at least in this market, and that's just for this age. It could be more if you're older or anything like that. But basically, the enhanced plans, we kind of talked about that a little bit. My favorite plans are typically the copay enhanced plans because, at least in this market, they're the two plans that cover prescriptions. They charge a $10 copay for generic medications, and they provide you a few doctor visits throughout the year. They will charge you a $40 copay for a primary care physician and a $60 copay for a specialist without having to meet the deductible, which is nice. And then you have either a $6,000 or an $8,000 deductible, depending on which plan you go with. And then basically that's the maximum you pay. There's no charge after the deductible. And since this is the copay enhanced, we'll go back to that. There's a maximum of $5 million a year in coverage over the course of the policy. So those are the ones I favor the most because I think they're the best coverages, at least in this market. But there's a lot of plans they have to offer. Let's talk about a different area, and we can, from that point, be able to kind of go back and kind of see how it differs in some markets. So let's say I'm looking at a Florida one, 33604, which is a Tampa Bay zip code. I used to live in Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County. We can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at there. So it always gives me a recommended plan. So here, same thing. They have the Aetna network and the Cigna network, but the premiums are going to be a little bit more, in Florida, and that's a little bit to be expected on under 65 health insurance. But you kind of get the idea, So depending on where you live, these might be more of a viable option for you than others. But yeah, it's for the most part going to be the same plans, just different premiums, maybe different networks, that kind of stuff in a lot of areas. And basically, national general plans do come with some health questions. So you do have to be healthy to be able to pick these up. They do have some things you can add on with it, which I'll go back a little bit. It always gives me like a suggested package for somebody, since it doesn't cover, cancer, that kind of stuff. A lot of times they'll offer a cancer product that you can add on with it. But you can even add in some indemnity plans, hospitalization plans, to kind of beef up the coverage a little bit, which kind of helps things out a little bit. There's a lot of things you can do to play with this, but these are nice little alternatives. They're not for everybody, but a lot of people can benefit from these and know that they can get coverage for up to 2 years, 3 years, depending on the area, and that's a long time. That's basically providing your health coverage for a long period of time. You don't have to worry about it, and it might save you a lot of premium depending on where you are and who you are. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video, hit subscribe, and if you live in one of the 10 states we're licensed to do business in, they're listed down in the description, please give us a call. We'd be happy to do a national general plan for you if you feel like you could benefit from it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.